Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Freeport firefighters say an apartment resident risked her own life to save others. A key piece of technology sent her on a mission to alert the building. Tenants of another state line building say they're thankful no one was hurt after a weekend incident. The snow-related collapse is a reminder for regular winter maintenance. Same location, same mission, brand new look. We're back for day one of a community health organization's major upgrade to see how thousands of patients will benefit. Good evening, I'm Muprhy. Eric is off tonight. A McChesney Park man is behind bars after detectives say he killed an elderly woman. Shane Bowman was arrested in Rockford last night on unrelated charges. Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies say he's linked to the murder of 72-year-old Ellen Marsh. Investigators found Marsh's body around 9 last night at a home on Harlem Road in McChesney Park. The Winnebago County coroner is completing an autopsy. Bauman faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of home invasion. He's also accused of threatening a public official and violating a protection order in separate cases. He's being held in the Winnebago County Jail. Investigators search for multiple robbery suspects after a violent weekend in Rockford. The latest incident happened just after midnight at the Marathon gas station on South Alpine. Police were called to the business after they say a man walked in, grabbed 2 cases of beer and tried to leave without paying. Officers say the clerk locked the doors and approached the suspect with a baseball bat. The man disarmed the employee and battered the clerk and another worker before leaving with more liquor bottles. Another robbery took place Saturday night at the Family Dollar on Broadway. Police say a man loaded up a shopping tote with cigarette cartons and tried to walk out. When 2 employees tried to stop the suspect, he pepper sprayed them both. If you have any information about either robbery, contact Rockford Police or leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers. A Freeport woman's hurt after firefighters say she likely saved her neighbors' lives. Investigators say a fire broke out at an apartment building on Broadway early Friday morning. The woman's unit was the only part of the building with a working smoke detector. She went from door to door, alerting the other tenants, sustaining second-degree burns in the process. Fire crews battled the flames. Multiple firefighters sustained fall injuries from icy conditions, and 1 first responder was hurt by debris. All of the firefighters are doing okay. No word yet on the woman's condition. State line first responders are staying busy rushing to weather-related car accidents. Crews responded to an 8-car pileup early this morning near Springfield Avenue and Montague Road in Rockford. This is video of just 3 of the vehicles involved. Police have not said if anyone was injured. In Beloit, officers are sent to multiple crashes caused by slippery roads. Police posted these pictures of one of the accidents from this afternoon involving a car and a bus. Investigators say the bus was stopped to drop off a passenger when the driver of a car was unable to slow down and crashed into the bus. No one was hurt. First responders urge drivers to slow down and use caution. Police are searching for a person of interest following a weekend shooting at a Wisconsin mall. The shooting happened Sunday at the Fox River Valley Mall in the city of Grand Chute. 1 person died and a 2nd person was injured. The mall was closed today. Police are looking for 17-year-old Desmond Ellis, who is considered armed and dangerous. Grand Chute's about 30 miles southwest of Green Bay. As the calendar flips the page to February, advocates raise awareness for an issue that impacts teenagers across the state line. Rockford's Family Violence Coordinating Council says teen dating violence affects 1 in 11 high school girls and 1 in 15 high school boys. The FVCC says abusive relationships at a young age can lead to substance abuse and other long-term consequences. All month long, advocates will take to social media to inform the public about the issue. Yesterday, we showed you a Freeport business damaged by the weekend's heavy snow. The building's roof collapsed, impacting people who work and live there. Michelle Rave spoke to the owner of a construction company who says routine roof maintenance can help prevent issues like this during winter storms.
We got a call yesterday morning that the back of the building had collapsed. This Freeport building served as apartment and business spaces like Freeport Press and Contact of Northern Illinois. Contact Executive Director Pam Warrenth says they're lucky no one was inside at the time of the collapse.
It was like a godsend. Nobody really likes snowstorms when they're coming, but we're very happy that snowstorm came.
The damage was so significant, Pam and her 50 volunteers now must work from home.
Our side, the electricity was on one of the walls damaged, so we don't have any power yet, so we still can't get back in.
Bob Heister from Heister Construction says homeowners should always be checking on their roofs, especially if it's older. According to Heister, over time, snow accumulations can allow water to get inside your home.
Well, the weight's always a factor. You could look at a roof collapse. That's a possibility. More so, ice damming. You want to get the snow off of the bottom of the roof before you experience an ice dam.
Heister recommends one key piece of equipment he says all homeowners should have, a snow rake.
Just like anything, proper maintenance. So keep up with the snow raking. They call it snow rakes. It's basically a snow shovel that's backwards on a pole, and reach up and just pull that off of there. It's something you're going to have to do continually throughout the year as a maintenance, from a maintenance standpoint.
For now, the staff of Contact of Northern Illinois will continue working from home.
So during this time, they are going to continue to do their shifts for those calls from home, and I will be manning the incoming calls until we get this figured out.
Reporting in Freeport for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Rockford launches a program designed to help homeowners with one of their biggest maintenance expenses. The residential roof program will cover the cost of rehabbing a roof up to $30,000. Applicants need to meet income requirements. They also need to live in the home as their primary residence. The program's manager says the investment really goes beyond a house's roof.
It's the crucial part of owning a home, because if you've got a leaky roof, it's causing more damage to the interior of the property, to the exterior of the property, and now it's going to cost even more money to fix all those related items.
The pre-application process is open through February 12th. After that, names will be picked through a lottery. To fill out the complete program application, apply through the City of Rockford's website. We've got a link to that at mystateline.com. Crusader Community Health cuts the ribbon on its new flagship clinic. The new $16 million clinic is on West State Street. It sits on the same location as Crusader's original site. Patients were welcomed into the 49,000 square foot space for the first time today. The facility offers many of the same services. Crusader's Crusader Now service is also available. It allows for walk-in patients.
The expression on people's faces when they come in and just the welcoming environment that this is. Our staff have always been welcoming for our patients, but now to have a facility that actually mirrors that is just going to be great for the health of Rockford.
Coming up at 6, we'll hear more from Miller. He'll share why Crusader is excited it was able to stay and build on the same location. A generous donation means some local seniors will once again get some needed help. Lifescape and Heartland Community Church are hosting another senior food drop box drive-through. This will take place February 10th. 500 people 60 and older will get a box of food with items like fruits and veggies, bread, and other pantry staples. A similar giveaway was held in December. After seeing the success, a volunteer from that event decided to cover the $20,000 price tag to do it again. Registration will be held Wednesday. You can find out more about that at mystateline.com. Beloit Transit will use its buses to honor the woman known as the mother of the civil rights movement. During Black History Month, bus seats will be marked off to recognize Rosa Parks. Parks was arrested in Montgomery, Alabama in December 1955 after she refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man. The event helped spark the movement to end racial segregation and Jim Crow laws. Beloit Transit's director says Parks should serve as a reminder that all people are welcome and should be treated with dignity in the community. 10 Republican senators draw up their own plan on COVID-19 relief. After the break, they pitch their ideas to President Joe Biden. And a state line electrician speaks out after his company phone number is stolen. Coming up at 6, suspects try to use his business to scam the public.
Nice to see some sunshine after the snowfall we had over the weekend. Temperatures, though, will take a big tumble here later this weekend. We could even be dealing with another round of snow. I'll have more on both of those coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Muprhy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
This week, all eyes will be on Washington as Congress and the president work out a new COVID-19 relief deal. Today, a group of 10 Republican senators are meeting with the president to present their own deal. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has more as he keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The group of 10 GOP senators want to cut President Biden's COVID-19 proposal significantly. Democrats have signaled they're prepared to move forward with or without Republican support. A group of 10 Republican senators say the White House's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package is too big.
If you can't find bipartisanship on COVID-19, I don't know where you can find it.
Ohio's Rob Portman is one of the senators pitching a roughly $600 billion proposal to President Biden. The GOP plan calls for more direct payments, but only for those making less than $50,000 a year. It also extends unemployment to June.
Right now, if you look at the administration's plan, you could have a family with 3 kids making almost $300,000 a year getting a check, and many of these people have had no impact from COVID.
The counteroffer comes from the group as congressional Democrats are preparing to move forward with or without GOP support.
Hi, everyone.
The White House press secretary Jen Psaki says meeting with GOP lawmakers shows President Biden is willing to work across party lines, but remains focused on providing the needed level of relief to Americans.
It's important to remember that the size of the package was designed with the size of the crisis, dual crises, as we've said.
The GOP proposal does not include any allocated funds for state and local governments. In Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
Now, your first warn weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, it's nice to see the sunshine, and we've got a couple of quiet days here at the beginning of the week. Things start to change once we get towards the end of the week, and then definitely heading into the weekend. So our impacts as far as the weather is concerned, looking at Thursday for the potential for a little bit of a mix or even some freezing rain early in the day before possibly switching over to snow by the afternoon, combined with some wind. Could make for a little bit of a rough go there for the afternoon and then into the evening, and the potential for some accumulating snowfall too on Thursday. Behind that, series of Arctic cold fronts coming in could bring some dangerous cold in here as early as Friday night or Saturday, but definitely towards the latter half of the weekend and even extending into early next week. Low single-digit highs, wind chills that could be well below zero, and some of those overnight chills that could be cold as 20 to even 30 degrees below zero. So talking about all of that here in just a minute, but first let's talk about that Thursday system, because we've got high pressure that'll dominate our skies here these next couple of days. Another area of low pressure will begin to work in from the west and southwest. As it does, our temperatures will slowly begin to warm, but might be cold enough just down here at the surface where we could see more of a mix or even some freezing rain as we head into the morning hours. Then as some colder air tries to take hold, thanks to the snow that we have on the ground, we could see that transition over to some snow. Notice how close that freezing line, though, is here in northern Illinois. As we get on the back side of that, some of those snow showers could linger into Friday, and we could see some accumulations as far as some more snow is concerned here once we get into Thursday evening. Talking about that cold, we've got that Arctic cold front coming in. This is a true Arctic air mass, some of the coldest air we've felt so far this season and possibly in quite some time, set to arrive here for the weekend. Those dangerous cold and wind chills are possible, with both temperatures and even our wind chills falling back below zero. And this may stick around for a little while into early next week. None of that to worry about here for us this evening. 30 in Rockford, 27 in Freeport, Dixon. Wanted to notice, though, look with our Mercy Out SkyTrack camera out over the Rock River. You see quite a bit of ice here on the river. In fact, we might might have to watch as our conditions are fairly favorable for ice jams to develop along portions of the river in these next couple of days. So if you're in an area that's maybe prone to a little bit more ice jamming on the river, you might need to keep an eye on some of the fluctuations of the river levels as our temperatures go up and then they go down, and then we could really see that with some rapid cold coming in here for the weekend. We've had plenty of sunshine today, but our clouds, they'll kind of roll in as we go through this evening. 32 our temperature. Jim checking in this evening. 30 right now. Ben checking in South Beloit. 31 our weather watcher here, Bob, on the southeast end of Rockford. So we've got some cloud cover for us this evening. Might see a little bit of patchy fog here as we head into the overnight tonight and very early tomorrow. Futurecast shows us with a clear sky, but I think we'll end up with some cloud cover. And then again, the possibility for some fog once we head into Tuesday night and then going into Wednesday. Temperatures tomorrow will be just a touch cooler than where they were today, upper 20s for those highs. Temperatures by midweek, Mimi, will warm into the 30s. And then you'll have to wait here till the end. My computer is froze, probably because it doesn't want to show the cold at the end of this week, but we'll look at some of that chill that's expected here by the upcoming weekend.
That's okay. We didn't want to see it anyway. Thanks, Candice. Scott's in next to talk sports. It appears Green Bay will continue to be Aaron Rodgers' neighborhood. Scott has the latest. And Scott's singing a different tune about the Blackhawks than he was a month ago.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Packers General Manager Brian Gutekunst held his end-of-the-season press conference today in Green Bay. He did his best to shoot down speculation that the Packers might try to move on from Aaron Rodgers this offseason. Gutekunst said he absolutely intends to keep Rodgers for 2021 and beyond. He said the Packers can't accomplish what they want to do without Rodgers right now. He's right on that. Jordan Love isn't ready to play at an MVP level. He might not be anywhere close to playing at an average level for an NFL quarterback. Gutekunst is no dummy. He knows Aaron Rodgers is what makes his franchise special right now and the guy who keeps the Packers in the Super Bowl conversation. But speculation about the Packers parting with Rodgers will continue probably for the rest of his time in Green Bay. That's what happens when you use a first-round draft pick on a young quarterback like Love. There was even a report yesterday that the Rams reached out to the Packers to talk about trading for Rodgers before they eventually made the deal for Matthew Stafford. Gutekunst also shot that report down today. The bottom line of all this is, don't believe everything you read and hear about Aaron Rodgers the next couple months. Number 12 will still be wearing green and gold come next season. Now, when the Blackhawks season started, I wasn't very optimistic. My expectations were extremely low, but what I've seen over the past 2 weeks has been very encouraging. My biggest concern was the goaltender position. That was a huge question mark, but former Ice Hog Kevin Lankinen has been giving the Blackhawks better goaltending than they've had the past few seasons. He's gone 5 consecutive starts where he's given up 2 goals or less. His .937 save percentage leads the NHL. And he doesn't seem at all rattled as a rookie. He's one of those even-keel guys emotionally, which is what you want in a goaltender, a lot like a ninth-inning closer in baseball. As teams get more scouting reports on Lankinen, they might discover his weaknesses, some areas they can attack. His body of work in the NHL is only 6 games long, but you have got to like what you see from him. Plus, other young guys like Philip Kurashev and Pius Suter have been very impressive. There's a lot more hope for the present and the future for the Blackhawks than we had a month ago. Just maybe they won't be in for that brutal rebuild. That's my take. We'll be right back.